everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started, and I'm just going to do very quick announcements, but then I'm also going to go around to every single table so that you all can tell everybody what we have going on while we're waiting for more people to come in. But before I do, I just want to remind you that we have a meeting coming up in December, on December 20th, 11 a.m. in the Cypress Room. And that's going to be with Audrey Coleman, who is going to be talking about short fiction and getting ideas out. It's going to be a super interesting, I mean, if you haven't been to one of Audrey's workshops, this is definitely one not to miss. So that'll be December 20th in the Cypress Room, 11 a.m., that third Saturday. Any other announcements before I start going around? Yeah, I mean, that's what we have. Oh, I'm sorry, we have table topics that are going to be coming up. During this session, we're going to start those at 11:30. So we have novels and short prose right here with Roger. We have poetry over here with Robin and Carl. We have, in the back, we have marketing and social media with Sean Langwell. And we have editing over here with Denise. Fantastic. Adrian's not going to be here, but I can come and support if you'd like that. Okay. So the four tables that you can go around, and we're doing it in a round-robin speed dating kind of session, where 15 minutes at one table, and it's everybody brings something to the table. It's not just the facilitator, it's everybody there can give some input on their experience under this topic, because we're writers helping writers, and we all have experience with this. So that's going to start at 11:30, and it's going to go until 12:30. We have refreshments in the back, all free. Come and enjoy. We have tables with crafts and books, which I'm going to go around for in just a second so that you can learn who's here and who's selling what. And then, of course, admission today is totally free. So let's go ahead and go around. I'm going to start all the way at the end up there with Carl's table.
Have you ever been in a situation where a person was... Okay, real quick, okay. This is about a 16th century conquistador who was lost to the Americans for nearly 10 years. And when he got back to civilization, he felt himself torn into two worlds because he had become an Indian. So he was torn between the cultures of 16th century Spanish nobility and an American Indian. And he ended up as both an Indian faith healer, he ended up as an Indian trader. He was at one point the governor of the southern half of South America. And he became a champion of Indian rights. So this is a book of fictional representations of key events in his life.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to do it quick because I have 20 people here. So real quick, Susanna.
Hi, I'm Susanna Jansen, and I'm the author of Wordstruck, The Fun and Fascination of Language. And most recently, I have published Once Upon a Continent, which is a memoir being in South America in 1979 before the invention of anything. And I'm so happy to tell you that I opened my email before I left Ukiah this morning, and I discovered that I have just been awarded first place in nonfiction adventure by the Independent Authors Network.
Great!
Thank you. Okay, here's going to be, if she comes, it's Andrea Granahan, and it's going to be a surprise if she comes.
I'm Susanna Solomon. I write short stories. My first two books are short stories inspired by actual sheriff's calls in the West Marin newspaper, The Point Reyes Light. And my third book here is short stories set in Paris.
Thank
science fiction stories, all of them set in our world, sort of lighthearted, some of them funny. Hope you would enjoy them. Also, I have very recently started to do painting. So I have done what's called pour painting, and these are some of the pieces I did. I also, just as a kick, do pour painting on these light switch plug covers, which will do a little pick-me-up for your room. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mara Johnstone. I've got some books and a variety of craft things, and thank you. I've got some fun things from a while ago and some new things. Made some scale mail bracelets, brain slugs, all kinds of fun things. I write science fiction and fantasy, that kind of fun stuff.
Oh, and the new book, Token Human by Marla Johnstone. Oh, this table is so great.
Hi, I'm Laurel Patterson, and I have a children's book here called The Land of Light, and it has a very good message for children. I also have some of my daughter's pottery, which is very colorful and pretty and practical. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm John Duran, and I'm here with my first published book called Deacon Throw. It's a collection of haiku, short poems and thoughts, and I basically wrote a haiku every day for over a year, and then I took about 185 of them and I put them in a book, and they're divided into 7 different themes, so appreciate you taking a look. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Vivian Yakoa. These are my school-inspired mysteries, is how I'm starting to sell them as, because it's basically a rip-off of Homelander, but I made up the country. But they're mostly cozy mysteries, although this one's more YA fantasy. And they're all starring my 4 characters, Brynhild, Carl, Begita, and Alfred. They're all in the same world. Also, I got these here magnets.
Hi, I'm Brian Martins, and I have my first book here, Three Raven Gate. It's half haiku and the rest favorite poems. My new book just out is Merlin's Wing. It's longer poems, and it was just picked up by Spartan Press. And I have t-shirts, from the first book and other good things. If you want to come by and look, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I am Sean Langwell. I've published 6 books now, which is just blows my mind. I've been a member for 9 years, and from the time of the first book to now, thank you to this woman over here, who you'll hear from in a second, but I'll be able to put together all these books, get them formatted, edited, and killer-looking covers. The one I'm most proud of is this one that took me 7 years. It's called 10 Seconds of Boldness, the essential guide to solving problems and building self-confidence. So, because it's Christmas and I want to do something a little different, I'm giving, the old Lucy Schultz cartoons where you have 10 cents for the therapist? I'm giving 10-minute free 10-minute confidence boost for anybody who wants to do it either here today or later. And it's $10. So come on by, the books are $20 a piece and 3 for $40. Next.
All right, I'm Christy Langwell, and I am the president, but I'm also a writer, and I write romance, and I write women's fiction, and I also have some books that are inspiration for writers. I have the Writer's Healing Reset, which is a guided journal, and it's meant to kind of like jockey you out of burnout, which is, I don't know about anyone else, nobody goes through burnout as a writer, right? So anyways, if you are one of the few, this is a guided journal for you. And then I also have Reclaim Your Creative Soul, which is basically it's 5 sections on how to organize your life, a busy life, to make room for your craft, which is also something that I had to learn how to do because I am a full-time writer. I'm not a full-time writer, I'm a full-time employee. I also write, I also run Redwood Writers, I do all these things, but I still write books. So if you're wanting to make that your life, there is that. But I also have my steamy romance, which has fun covers. You can come and see them. And I have some bejeweled covers over here, which are really fun as well. So, and I'm actually doing the same promo as Sean, where it's $20 per book, but 3 for $40. So I buy 2, get 1 free.
Hello, I'm Milena El Jamali, and I am your treasurer for Redwood Writers. And I am a knitter and a knitwear designer now, and none of these is my design yet, but I have socks, gloves, mittens, hats, scarves, and some felt ornaments that I sewed. And I also have a section that has no wool in it that people are often interested in. So come and have a look and keep your toes and your fingers warm in the winter.
I have a pair of her mittens in my car and I use them all the time.
Hello, my name is Lori Conkling. I'm a new member of Redwood Writers. I just joined a couple months ago. I write primarily horror, short fiction. My niece Abby is hiding behind me. So today we're selling top holders, which I make by hand with all kinds of crazy designs. I've got dragons, I've got game dice, octopuses. And we've got crocheted mythological creatures, so we've got kelpies, Day of the Dead, tons of mermaids, a Wendigo in here somewhere. And also my niece has made some jewelry to sell.
Great. I'm Curtis, and I'm here with my debut novel. I also want to thank Sean for being a guest on his podcast several weeks ago. And I wanted to mention simply that when you write a novel, and then what happens when you get inspired to do something? So I now volunteer at Verity, a great crisis center here in Santa Rosa. 2 of my characters stepped into that world, and so I think even a novel can prompt readers to do something, even the authors. Sure.
Hi everybody, I'm Nancy Economy, and I'm happy to share with you my recently released book, Finding My Olympia. It's about a spirited young Greek-American woman who in 1955 Woodland decides to search for her missing sister who one day disappears without a trace. I'm also holding a contest. If you give me your email, you get 2 free books. We'll hold that at 1:45. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Gwyneth Jones Tracy, and my book is a travel memoir. I grew up overseas, traveling all over the world, and it's part of it's about all the experiences and adventures, but also the re-entry to the United States, which was not my country because I had not lived here very long. I also have some lovely jewelry from my 17-year-old granddaughter. She's been making jewelry since she was 12. And I have some delicious cookies made by my 15-year-old granddaughter, who is #1 baker. And I continue to write. I'm writing short stories now, based on my father's many adventures all over Asia. Thank you.
I am Anna Citrino, and I write poetry that is more or less like narrative, historical fiction poetry. So it tells a story. So I have a book called Space Between. It's about Italian immigrants to San Francisco at the turn of the last century. And I have my newest book called Stories We Didn't Tell. It's about people that grew up in Nebraska and Wyoming as homesteaders, but they went a different life, and it's about the changes they make through the century.
I write prose and poetry. I'm here with a couple of novellas and a collection of short stories, and of course my book of haiku, 4 words. And for those of you who missed my presentation last month to the Redwood Writers, and you're haiku curious, come and talk to me. I'm in the executive committee of the Haiku Society of America, and any question you ever had, anything you ever wanted to know about haiku, please feel free to come around. I'm also Swiss American, as you might hear, and so I brought some Swiss chocolates in case you need another enticement.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Chrissy. My name is Robin Gabbert. I'm a poet, and I will be staffing the poetry table a little later with Carl Cady over there in the center. In the meantime, I have a new book of poetry out called Somehow I Haven't Drowned, and also, yes, you can find out why I might have drowned but haven't. And also my prior book of ekphrastic poetry, The Clandestine Life of Paintings and Poems. Most of you know me that I'm an ekphrastic poet, largely. Both are available here. If you buy the new book, it's $20. I will give you the old book. I've only got a few copies left, but I'll give you the old one for $5. If you're just buying the old one, you can have it for $10. So it's a pretty good deal. We're going to have a sign-up list here for names and emails for a drawing later in the day for a free book. So please sign up. I'd love to keep in contact with you. Thank you.
Thank you. And I just want to say, no, we're actually going to be doing teardown at 1:45, so if you have drawings that are done, maybe make yours a little bit early because we have to be out here by 2 p.m. because there's another event after us. We're going to, go ahead and shop, and we're going to stop, or not stop. 11:30, there will be table topics. You do not have to be a part of table topics. You can just go around and shop. If you're a vendor, please feel free to join the table topics. You can just watch your table